Welcome to the Lagniappe, a little something extra for your health, your family, and your future. Hosted by Caroline Badon, wife, mama, fitness and wellness guru, fashion and iced coffee lover, and the marketing director and podcaster for the Fussell Group. This podcast is your go-to for real conversations, expert insight, and the heart behind the Fussell Group's mission. Because life's not just about getting by, it's about showing up with purpose and serving the community with what matters. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Lagniappe, Fussell Group's premier site of learning everything about life and health insurance. Today, I have my mom back here with me, Tyler Fussell.
Hi.
Agency founder and owner of the Fussell Group Insurance Advisors.
That would be me.
How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We're doing fantastic. We're just coming off our biggest annual enrollment ever with over 3,500 apps from October to, just for January 1st. And then January 2024 to January 2025, we're sitting at right at 7,200 apps. So over 7,000 lives we touched with Medicare.
How that just feels so good.
Doesn't it feel awesome?
The word apps just goes like in one ear and out the other.
It's
but the lives
7,000
touched
lives
is what like really pulls on your heartstrings.
We are pushing right now close to probably 35,000 lives that through all of our agents that are associated with us that we have touched in Louisiana.
Taken care of. It's such a good feeling.
Isn't it amazing?
I like saying lives touched versus apps.
I agree.
Because apps is just such like a salesy thing. Like, great, that's great. We're really hitting some goals here.
Lives.
But the lives touch, it's just like yanking on your heart.
Yep, I agree.
I love it.
Me too.
All right.
Me too.
Let's talk about, first of all, our new setup.
I'm loving this.
Sitting at the table.
So the whole reason we changed from our podcast room and moved it this way is because we are firm believers that insurance, whether it's life, Medicare, or in health, individual health, should be done at the kitchen table.
Yes.
It should be sitting down, having conversations, having a relationship with your clients. It shouldn't be done over the phone. Don't use the phone. Don't call the 1-800 numbers. Please stay away from that.
Let's just say this. If you're talking to your insurance agent over the phone and you have never met them and they have never met you, that's already a red flag.
I agree. They don't know you.
If you haven't sat with them at their office desk, at your kitchen table, at a PJ's Coffee,
somewhere,
and met
face
them
to
and
face.
created a connection,
100%.
do you buy a car from someone over the phone? No.
You shouldn't. Some do, but
you sit at a
do that.
desk and
Right.
you go over everything. It's just life in general, connection and building that trust with someone.
I agree.
Is what's important because nowadays, especially with all the media and the phone systems and the AI and all the things, anything can happen.
I agree with you 100%. I think
so. Here's our table.
Here's our table. Here's our conversations. Here's getting to know our guest. Here's getting to know our clients, our agents. I just love this. And you never know, you might find me one day sitting here having lunch or dinner.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, speaking of clients, if you're a current client watching this and you want to come on and sit at our table like you have before,
we'd love to have you.
Give us a call.
Absolutely.
Let's do an episode with clients. That'd be fun.
I think it would be great. We just need to get them on here. So like she said, if you're watching us right now and you are a current client of ours, we'd love to have you come sit at our table. Or if you're a current agent or a wannabe agent, come sit at our table. Come talk with us.
Let's have a conversation.
Absolutely.
The world revolves around conversations.
Absolutely.
All right. So this episode's just kind of like fly by the seat of our pants. I think it's more of like a mother-daughter conversation. What are we doing in 2025? What is our why?
Yeah.
What do we have coming up? What do we want our viewers to know?
Yeah.
We're introducing them to our new set. I don't know if they caught it, but if you didn't catch it, the new name is the Lagniappe.
Yep.
Instead of Medicare Lagniappe. If you've watched us previously, you know that Medicare Lagniappe is what we used to call these podcast episodes. But we want it to be more of a broad spectrum of things that we talk about. Life insurance, health insurance, Medicare, all the things.
All about life.
Yeah.
How everything flows together, you know. You talked about our why. So one thing I think that's really important for us in 2025 is getting out our why to Louisiana and Mississippi. I want them to know the why of the Fussell Group is because we are the gold standard of insurance.
Yes.
We pride ourselves on being the gold standard. The way we do that is through educating our agents. We only bring on agents that are compassionate, that want to give back.
Mm.
We're rooted in the community. We want to continue growing our roots in the community. And my goal for our agency is by the end of 2027 that we're in a minimum of 50% of the households in Louisiana, whether that's through life insurance, individual health insurance, Medicare, ancillary products. I want to be in that number. I want to be in your home. I want you to know who the Fussell Group is.
Yeah.
I want you to know that we're the gold standard and we're going to take care of you, and you become part of the Fussell Group family.
Yeah.
All of our clients are part of our family.
How comforting is it to know that when it comes to your life insurance, your health insurance, your cancer policy, your hospital indemnity, anything like that, you don't have to call a 1-800 number to get help.
No,
You call your local licensed insurance agent, like you call your best friend and say, hey,
yes,
this is like my CPA, for instance. We have that relationship, that trusted, he comes to my house, he sits at my kitchen table, and he
right.
helps me.
Yes,
I know that I can call him or text him or email him, and within seconds, he's responding, and he's going to give me the advice that I need to hear,
right,
and I trust him.
right.
So how comforting is it to know that with your health insurance, you have that same option?
I think the problem with insurance is a lot of people are thinking it's so overwhelming, it's so confusing. It's just something that I just don't want to deal with. I'm just going to call that 1-800 number and let them deal with it.
I'm
But
just going to
what
pay for it and just,
and
it's
just be
fine.
done.
Yeah.
But what they're not realizing is that person on that 1-800 end has no idea what's important to you.
Right.
They have no idea who your doctors are. And this is not only for Medicare, this is for individual health, this is for group employer
Yeah.
plans. You want to make sure your doctors are covered, your prescriptions are covered.
Hmm.
You want to make sure they can say your last name.
Right.
We were just talking about the word lagniappe and how confusing the word lagniappe is for people who aren't from Louisiana.
Right.
Number one, they don't know what lagniappe is, and number two, to try to spell it, that you get all kinds of variations. So I just think the more you stay local,
Hmm.
you trust your local
Small
small
businesses.
businesses, you trust your local insurance agent who has had to go through rigorous training to get their license. Then, in order to stay certified in both individual health and Medicare and life insurance, we have to go through continuing education
Right.
every 2 years. And with individual health and with Medicare, we have to go through certifications,
Every year.
recertifications
Mhm.
every year. So, you know, you're not going to pick a doctor. You're not going to pick a primary care doctor in Minnesota if you live in Louisiana.
Right.
You're going to pick someone that's going to be local to you. So, therefore, because they're going to take care of you.
Right.
So, therefore, your insurance agent should be local as well.
Exactly.
That goes with property and casualty as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big believer in that. So, like I said, we've touched probably closer to 35,000 lives over the last 13 years. And I would really like us to really hit at least 50% of the households in Louisiana.
I think it's important, and how comforting it is to know that, like you said, it's not just clients and it's not
It's,
just applications,
it's
it's the lives
lives.
that we're helping.
It's lives.
Taking that burden off of your plate of your health insurance and your life insurance, because it is
Yes,
so important to have that.
I agree. I addressed our team of agents last week at our awards luncheon. And in my speech with them, we talked about knowing our why, our what, and our how. And one of the things I ended with is you're not just an agent, you're a life changer.
Hmm.
You can change somebody's life by making sure they're in the right plan, by making sure that their family is covered. Let's talk about cancer. We are the fifth largest state in America that if you have cancer, you're going, how do I want to say that? We are the fifth state in the United States of America when it comes to deaths due to cancer.
Right.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And I guarantee you a majority of the people don't have a cancer policy.
No, and how many lives do you know that have been touched by cancer? Every family has been touched by cancer in some way. We just lost my dad, your grandfather, last year to
Hmm.
cancer. And we thought, oh, we don't have cancer in the family. Well, yeah, we do. Um, and I think it's becoming more and more and more prevalent. And so people need to look at cancer policies. A cancer policy is going to give you a lump sum to where, upon that diagnosis, you can use it for chemotherapy, you can use it for travel. Let's talk about what happens when there's cancer.
Hmm.
You can't work.
Right.
Your caretaker, your loved one typically stops working. Still have
It's a
bills to
huge life
pay.
change.
It's a massive life change.
Hmm.
You have to go, you may be traveling to MD Anderson or John Hopkins or Cancer Centers of America for treatment. That's expensive. Now you have to pay for room and board. For how long?
Right.
What is your deductible?
Right.
What is your maximum out of pocket?
Right.
So there's so many things that people don't think about. They think if they get just a health insurance policy or a Medicare policy, be it a supplement or an Advantage plan, that that's going to take care of everything. And it doesn't. There's still holes that need to be filled,
Right.
but they're not going to know how to fill those holes unless they have an insurance
Agent.
agent to
Hmm.
sit down and explain to them, you've got holes.
Right.
And we're not trying to make money off the sale. We're trying to make sure you're covered
Right.
and that you have no holes.
Right.
You don't have a financial downfall due to an illness or something tragic.
Well, and I think, and this is kind of getting into the weeds, like just from an agent's perspective here. But I think too, what happens is sometimes the beneficiary
Hmm.
thinks, oh, they're just trying to sell me another policy.
Right,
Well, it's not the case because if you were to cancel your policy, we get charged back on that anyways.
right.
So it's not really trying to make the sale, it's trying to make sure we get the product to you that you need that will stick, that will take
Correct,
care of you.
correct. That
So,
covers any holes.
right, fills the gaps.
Look, with your property and casualty insurance, with your homeowners, that's why they have umbrella coverage
Mhm.
to cover those homes. I mean, to cover those holes. How many people have a umbrella to cover their holes?
Right.
If you don't, you need to be looking into it. But same thing with a cancer policy or a hospital indemnity policy or anything that's out there to cover those holes. You need health umbrellas to cover those holes.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Let's
Yeah.
talk about, so we touched on your why a little bit.
Mhm.
I know you've been reading a lot of different books lately.
I have.
Let's kind of talk about some things like from a lifestyle point of view that you have learned just within the last 6 weeks of 2025 that you would want to share with your viewers, from a female mindset, from an entrepreneur mindset, from any kind of anything that you've learned that you think has changed your mindset or your way of life so
Oh, I
far.
would say that's been probably over the last almost year. Um, a lot's happened to me within the last year. I lost my last living parent. I lost my dad to cancer February 14th of last year of 2024. Um, and then there was the birth of my amazing grandson. If you haven't seen him, oh my God, he's delicious.
Shout out to Caroline Badon. Follow
Yeah.
her on Instagram.
Yep, she gave me the most amazing grandson. He's beautiful, he's fun, he's happy, he has changed my life. Um,
He is sugar in human
he is
form.
sugar in human form. He is an angel in human form. So he came in April, and after that, I attended two I had my own personal retreat with my team, which was really motivational. I really got to know my team leaders, my broker managers
That was
more.
fun.
It was so personal. It was so beautiful.
At the
Shelby,
Jubilee Suites in,
yes,
Fairhope, it
in
was
Fairhope,
gorgeous.
it was beautiful. Shout out to Kristen Quick with Let's Make Plans for putting that together for us. She did an awesome job. And shout out to Shelby Clement with SCM Media for coming in and, I'm sorry, SCM Marketing and coming in and giving our keynote speech on
Yeah, the
leadership.
words you need to hear come out of her
Yes,
mouth.
yes, it was really
That's
awesome.
another sugar in human
Yes.
form right there.
So moving forward from there, I then ended up hiring a business coach by the name of Casey D'Amato. Shout out to Casey. I call her KCD. She's amazing.
Another sugar in human
Another
form.
I know.
We're gonna have diabetes from all these people.
God has like given me so much sugar in the last year in
Yeah.
human form. I have seen so much movement from him in my life in the last year. It's been amazing.
And really quick, and then we're gonna get back on course. What you just said is God has put so many people in your life
Oh
that
my
has changed
God.
your life. That's what changes your life is the people that you surround yourself with.
Yes,
It
100%.
the way that you are in your life and your thought process and your positivity is really what drives you, and the people that you surround yourself with is what keeps you going.
Yeah.
If you if you're a negative person surrounded by negative people,
Yes, you're going to be negative.
you're negative.
100%.
There's no positivity, nothing coming in, no growth, none of that.
If you allow negative situations in your life to take over, you become negative and it brings you down,
Right.
and it absolutely destroys the goodness that's in you.
Mhm.
I was going to keep going with that. Of after that
Women's retreat.
women's retreat, I hired Casey as a business consultant, and she's also become a personal friend who has really taken our business and just completely shifted the way we do things. It's amazing. It's different mindset of everyone involved, not only my broker managers, but also my leadership team in the office, my agents. Our mindset's just completely shifted. Phenomenal human being.
In your professional life and your personal life.
Oh,
Because a
100%.
lot of times after talking with Casey, I'll go home and think like, okay, I can change the way that I do this at home.
Well, she's so positive when she talks to you. Now, she's very much, she leaves you with thoughts and questions that you need to think about.
Yes.
And she sends me home with homework, and I hate homework,
Or a new
but she
book.
sends me home or a new book, and she gives
Mhm.
me timeline. But she is making me become a better business owner and a better leader.
Yes.
And for that, I'm forever thankful. And she has become a friend that I really lean on and not to get
Admire.
admire.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's a little bit younger than me. I think she's about
Oh,
almost 10
oh,
years younger
that's
than me.
risky. Don't say a
I know,
number.
but she is younger than me. But her knowledge and
Yeah,
her
she's
heart,
special.
she is.
So thank you again
So
to Shelby for making that connection.
yes,
It's
yes,
just the
yes.
people you meet.
Yes. So then going from that, working with Shelby and Casey, and then they had me attend another retreat put on by Shelby, to which Casey was at. But I have to tell you all about this. This is the one thing that absolutely
Let's
catapulted
tell
my
them what the
life.
retreat was.
Go for it.
It was DGML. DGML is Damn Good Marketing Live. It is
Yep.
put on by Shelby Clement, the owner of Shelby Clement Marketing,
Yep.
and her team, and they bring in these keynote speakers, and they have these a whole agenda for it's a 2-day thing. The first day is VIP, but it's an agenda of the day, and it really this is the first year. It's been out for 2 years. I didn't get to attend the first year because it was sold out, but year 2 I attended with you.
Yep.
And I did the VIP and the other day with
Right.
everyone. And
Right.
when I tell you it is just and you can speak to this, life-changing.
It is. Well, you're in a room with female entrepreneurs, everywhere from being just a startup to being like me, 13 years in the business,
Mhm.
and you're talking to women who are making $1,000 a month on the business, to us who are in 7 figures plus, not personally, but the business, right? Um, so it's amazing. It's you're feeding off of each person's energy, and her
Yes.
speakers that she had were just amazing.
So she had
Casey
Casey,
Casey D'Amato,
Trent Shelton.
Trent Shelton. If you haven't listened to
Sh
any of Trent
he
Shelton's
just
podcasts, oh, sugar in another form.
yeah. Crystal.
Yes. So that's where I was going. My girl Crystal. I met her very briefly. I'm really hoping I get to meet her again at this DGML. So Crystal spoke, and a funny story. So I'm going to give you the whole back thing. So just sit down and take a drink and enjoy. Um, Crystal was coming on, and Shelby said they passed
Mhm.
in the hallway, and Crystal said, "I don't know what it is, but there's someone who needs to hear from me.
Oh,
There's someone in this room who needs to hear from me today, and God has placed a message on me today to give to someone.
Mhm.
And Shelby's like, well, go with it, girl, go with it.
Mhm.
And she got up and she spoke. And her words set me free
Mhm.
and changed my life. Um, she was unbelievable. She she moved me ways that her words moved me in a way that I don't think I've ever been moved before. And I went home that night, and they say the hours of 3 to 5 are when God's angels speak to you,
Mhm.
or a loved one is speaking to you. And I woke up at 4 o'clock that morning, and I had the most intense, deep, personal prayer with my God,
Mhm.
and it changed me forever. And so, Crystal Jacoby, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if I'm saying your last name right, but you single-handedly, well, you're not, I mean, Casey played a part, Shelby played a part, but the words you spoke that day and the way you made me realize that my ancestors are so proud of me.
Mhm. That's what I remember from that day.
You know, that my ancestors, my grandmothers, my mom,
Mhm.
my aunts, um, my dad,
That you had
my
just lost.
uncles, yes, that they're standing there and they're rooting me on.
Mhm.
And it just gave me such strength and such determination. And to know that my God put this woman in front of me to remind me how special I am to Him and how special I am to my family. And when she said, open that door, and who's standing there? And it was my family, and it was you, and it was my Ava, and my Kyle, and my sweet Brian, and my parents, and my Christy, and all of you were in my mind, and you were standing there. And it was my Miles, and my Matthew, and my Jolie, and my brother Kevin, and my sweet Jana, and all of you were in my mind cheering me on. It was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay.
Ooh, this is getting good. I have
So
goosies,
I
and I
know.
wanna cry, but I'm holding it back.
I'm trying to hold it back. So anyway, so yes, so all of that has catapulted me to change the way I do things. I very much do not take life for granted. I don't take lightly who God puts in my in my path. And I'm starting to realize and believe that I was put on this earth for a mission.
Mhm.
God has a plan for me. And I've always known He had a plan. I just wasn't sure what it was. But I am pretty clear that my life now is here to help younger people, younger entrepreneurs, not younger by age, I mean younger in starting their business, to help them along the way and to be that gift that Casey has been to me, and Shelby has been, and Crystal has been, and Barbara Lapolo, and
Mhm.
all of those that have come before me. Um,
We have a lot of sugar in human forms.
we do. I mean, you don't realize it until you start talking about it.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Nick
when you
Carl.
surround yourself with these people, how lucky
Yes.
are we?
Look at what Nick Carl with United Healthcare has done for our business. Like he I just moved my mic, I'm sorry. He single-handedly helped us get up and going. And then
Mhm.
Jeff Myers with his encouragement, and Liz George with Aetna. And we've just been,
Relationships make the world go round.
yes, they do.
Who you choose to be in
And
your circle
yes,
is so important.
I agree. And I
Your quality of life comes from the quality
the
of the people
people
that you
you
spend it with.
Yes, I agree. And if you choose to have people who are always negative, then your life is always going to be negative, and you're only going to see negative.
Well, and one of the things, so Casey has me reading a book called, sorry for the language, You Are a Badass.
You are a badass.
You need it, okay?
Right.
Sometimes you just need to be told that you are a
Yes.
badass.
Yes.
So I'm reading this book, and it's really pushing me through some trenches right now of being a new mom and working and all the things. And there's two things that have really caught my attention. I'm only on chapter 5, but one of the things is the people that are jealous of you
Hmm.
are not jealous because of what you're doing. They're jealous because they made reasons why they couldn't do it.
Correct. They made excuses.
Yes. They didn't go out there and try it. They didn't do it. Everyone comes on onto this earth, into this world,
Mhm.
into life to live it,
Mhm.
intentionally to live life.
Yes,
You're
and
not
God
put
has a plan for you.
Yes, you are put on this earth to live.
Mhm.
So if you do not take your purpose, that your God-given purpose, and
Mhm.
live your life intentionally,
Mhm.
then what's the point?
I agree. And I think what's important is that people have to realize that your intention on earth, your purpose on earth isn't mine
Right.
and it's not yours. Ours is different.
Right.
And it's not somebody sitting out there. I am not to be a Shelby. I told somebody recently, I'm not supposed to be a Casey D'Amato.
No.
I love Casey D'Amato with all my heart. I'm not made to be a Casey. I'm not made to be a Crystal. I'm not made to be a Shelby. I'm made to be Tyler.
Right.
I'm made to be Tyler Pond Fussell, and I am here to do my own thing. And I think the more people start looking at that, social media is fun, but stop trying to be that person on social media.
Well, it's that
It's
imposter syndrome.
it's you've got to be authentic. You know, Shelby pushes being authentic, and she's 100% right. People aren't going to believe you unless you're authentic, and you
Mhm.
have to be authentic.
Another thing that she preaches that I always remember too, and this really plays a part in my role because I am the
Mhm.
director of marketing here, but people aren't going to buy your product based on your product.
They
People are
buy
going
it.
to buy it based on you.
Yes, that's your
If
why. They
yes,
buy it. They buy it because of you.
if they like you, they will like your product.
Mhm.
And I think it's so important, and that's why she's so heavy on being authentic and showing up and being there is
Yes.
because did I let's just be real here. And she's going to see this, and she's my best friend. She'll probably call me and laugh. But did I go to Shelby Clement Marketing because I needed marketing? Kind of. We were looking for help in that
Right.
area. But there are many people out here. Did I choose Shelby Clement Marketing because Shelby caught my attention and I loved her as a person?
Yes.
Yes. That is today's world. And
Yes.
let's another thing. The other day, my husband was shopping for shoes. He came on a site. He didn't trust the site. It didn't look like it was a reliable source. He said, let me go see if they have an Instagram page and see if they're real.
Mhm.
It's important. And that kind of falls back in today's generation too. And it really touches on how we market in today's generation. He, 33 years
Mhm.
old, didn't trust the website, but said, let me go see if they have an Instagram and see if they're real.
Mhm.
The platforms are where you show your authentic, true self.
Mhm.
And that is where people find that connection with you and trust
I
you.
agree.
It's just life has changed.
It is. But I think it's even more so, or it's important even more so now. You need to know your personal why.
Yes.
You need to know your why. You need to know your who. Who is going to help you be that why?
Hmm.
Who is going to lift you up when days are down? Who's going to be that person that cheers you on? You need to know your how. You have a why, but how are you going to get that why out in the world?
Mm.
And then you need to know the what. What's your result? I am a big believer in Simon Sinek in his books. Um, give a little shout out to him, Know Your Why. Um, right now, I have started reading a book, um, Who, Not What. So I am reading that.
We'll
So
touch
stay
on that one
tuned. We'll
next
touch
time.
on that one next time. It's really great. But I'm really about reading a lot of leadership books, how to be a better leader, how to be a better business person, and then I also, I have my own little spiritual prayer time every morning. So
Yeah. And another thing I want to mention, and kindness,
kindness,
being authentic,
yes,
but being kind. We've talked about being positive and things like that. Truly being there for people that need you. A friend of mine needed me last week. She didn't know that knew that she needed me, but I reached out to her. And hours later, she
hmm,
messaged and said, God's light shines through you.
yes,
One of the most touching things someone has ever told me.
yes,
And I really think it it's on your authenticity, how kind you are to people, you're trustworthy. All of those things matter, and it all goes back to your faith, your family, how you decide to live your life.
yep.
And that's really what we want to talk about here.
Yeah.
And that's why we're changing it from Medicare Lagniappe to
the
Lagniappe.
Lagniappe.
Maybe another name change coming. We're going to debate it here with some of our people.
Yep.
Because we do have another option. 2025 is the year for changes and growth and all the good things.
It's resilience and rebirth.
Yeah. So 2 R's.
Yep.
So recent roads.
Recent roads.
So we're gonna we'll come back on that. But
Yeah.
I like the new direction we're taking.
I do
This
too.
is fun.
I hope you do too. And if you do, give us a shout out, please. Let us know. Comment. Let us know what you think about the new direction. And
If you want to join the
And if-
podcast, please do.
absolutely, we'd
We're
love
looking
to
for
have you.
all the positive entrepreneurs, non-entrepreneurs, people that
Yes.
are rooted in their faith,
Yes.
that just want to talk.
Yes.
Because this is how life goes. This is how the world goes around.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, I'm good. My stomach's growling, so that means
You're
it's
hungry.
time to feed.
Oh, hopefully Dad ordered us lunch.
We'll see. We'll
All
see.
right. So that's all for today.
Absolutely.
Mom
Thanks so
slash
much,
Tyler.
Yes,
Thanks for being
Ma.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Let's give a shout out to a few of the people we mentioned in this video.
Yes.
Casey D'Amato. You can follow all of these people on socials. Shelby Clement, Barbara LaPola.
LaPolo. She's our CFO. She is actually in Texas and has absolutely changed the way we look at things from a financial perspective. Highly suggest her.
Crystal Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it Jacob? Yeah, it's Jacoby, I think. Or yeah, I don't know.
Crystal J.
Crystal.
Hopefully she'll reach out, give us a call, and tell us how to pronounce the last name. But follow her as well, Trent Shelton, if you need any type of spiritual
lift up.
He's fantastic.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
It's
waking up every day and being positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then also follow us on Instagram, FGIA LA. We have FGIALA.com. Caroline Badon is my personal. TP Fussell is her personal.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We're expanding all the things this year. It's exciting.
We are.
All right.
You're going to see so much of us, you're going to hate us.
All right. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and stay on the lookout for more. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and visit our website at FGIALA.com.
Thanks so much for joining us. See you soon.
Thanks for joining us on the Lagniappe. We hope today gave you the little something extra that you needed. Be sure to subscribe, share this with a friend, and follow us on social at FGIALA for more tools to live well and make the right decisions for your health and future. Until next time, stay golden, stay the course, and never forget, we'll be there for you.